Hello soulmates. So in this video I'm going to be talking to us about how best to fold your fabric to avoid wastages while you are cutting it. Okay, so the technique we're going to be talking about is the folding technique. Most people complain of excess wastages, you know, of how they waste their fabric, and some they don't even know how much fabric that will be enough for them to cut. So they find it difficult to manage the fabric. So let's use this fabric for example, and before I start I would like to highlight to you that, yeah, as you can see, this fabric I just finished ironing it now. So it is important before you do anything with your fabric, you have to iron it out. This is the surest way or surest plug to achieving a perfect same finish. Okay, everything we do, every little thing we do in garment construction is very important. Don't overlook it, don't disregard it, or don't say when I finish cutting I'll iron at once. No, the first thing you do is to iron your fabric. Look, at this thing was actually way more rumpled when I got it, but I've gone to stretch it out to iron it properly. Then I can lay, and then I'll start folding. So this material here is 1 yard of fabric, but it's by 60. That means the width we have here, can you see on this axis we have 36 inches, but lengthwise the longest part of it is 60 inches. Okay, all right, so this is the fabric I have. So let's say I have 1 yard of fabric here, like I said earlier on, and I'm placing it like this. I want to cut it. Okay, so I've placed my fabric. This side is the 36 inches, where the longest part is 60 inches. Let's say we want to cut a skirt. All right, the hip, because we have to fold with the biggest part of the body part we are working with. So since it's not the upper body, it's the down body, is the skirt part. So the biggest part of my skirt is the hip. So the hip I'm working with now is 40 inches, and I want to cut it with this 1 yard fabric, right? So most of the mistakes we do is that once we place our fabric like this, we'll just start folding because you just want to do it as quickly as possible. You just start folding. Now if I fold this material like this, remember I want to cut a skirt, maybe I want to cut the front and the back together, right? So after folding it like this, I will come and fold it in four, so that when I cut it I can be able to get the front and back. Now I'll bear in mind that the down part is going to be the back and the upper one is going to be the front. That is why this place is on fold, right? So what will be on my mind immediately is to add the zipper allowance for the back, right? So let's say this is the zipper allowance. Let's say I want to use 1 inch zip allowance, right? Okay, so I end up folding the whole of the 1 yard like this. Now let's measure. Remember that it's 40 inches, right? So 40 divided by 4 is supposed to be able to give me 10, isn't it? So by the time I place my measuring tape to measure, you find out that what I have here is not up to 10. And if I didn't check it that way and I rush to cut, let's even assume that, okay, I'm trying to outsmart the fabric, right? So when I lay the fabric, I say, okay, let me just cut the front. The front definitely it will be enough. So I divide my waist, my hip divided by 2, okay, 20. So I quickly just measure so that I can cut the upper one and then continue cutting. Further that it will still not be enough, I'll end up wasting this part, and then I'll fold again to cut for the back, and it won't be enough. Why? Because what I have here is 36 and I'm looking for something that have to be more than 40 inches. So that means if I intend to cut this fabric like this, I have to get 2 yards of fabric. That'll be enough, right? So what do I do in order to manage this? I have to think about folding it this other way round. Okay, the length of my skirt is 25 inches, so good, it's fair enough. So I have to fold it on the length part of my skirt. I have to fold it this way. Okay, and then I'll measure for the I'll measure it out like this. Okay, and now I have my 10 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance for the zipper, and I also have extra on this part. Do you understand? So if the client wants a band, I have more than enough to attach for a band. And even by the time I measure the length of the skirt, I find that I still have more fabric remaining. Do you get? If I want to do a hairband for myself, I already have, something remaining. Or if I want to create any kind of design, for this particular skirt I'm making, I have enough. But I feel it's clear enough now, okay, that folding it like this is better than the previous one. The folding technique helps a lot in cutting your fabric. All you have to do is to calculate well before you start folding. Make sure you are going to start folding with the biggest part of the measurements you want to take. So I hope you have learned one or two from this video. Thank you.